Hey everyone, my name is Riley and this video is a complete beginner's guide to TradingView. TradingView is by far the best and most popular trading chart platform, and in this video I'm going to take you from a beginner who doesn't know how to use this platform at all to an expert who knows how to use this platform to perfection. We are going to be looking at everything from how you can customize your chart and set your chart up to your preference, how you can access and use all of the indicators within TradingView, how you can access and use the essential drawing tools, and even how you can set up a paper trading account and practice your trading on TradingView. If that sounds like exactly what you are looking for, then keep watching and let's jump right in. Now, to access TradingView, you can either click on the top link in the description of this video or just go over to tradingview.com. As soon as you land on TradingView, you should be taken over to a screen that looks like this. And the first thing that we need to do before I explain all of this and what everything is actually get into a chart. So we can either select from Bitcoin, Tesla, or Apple here at the bottom, or we can click into search markets and we can search for a specific symbol. So in this example, I'm just going to pull up Apple right here. We can click into this and then we can see launch chart. So let's launch the chart, and when we load in, this is the main TradingView screen right here. Now, the first thing that we want to do is actually be able to customize this. I will get into all of these settings, how we can add indicators, all of these tools later on. But the first thing to do, the most important, is actually to customize this chart and set this up in the way that you want to see this. Now, the first major thing that we can change here is we can change the background between light mode and dark mode. The way that we do this is by clicking on your profile icon in this top left corner, and then right here we can see dark mode. So you can either toggle this off and have a dark background. This is probably the most popular right now, or you can leave this as the light mode right here. I'm going to toggle this to dark mode. The next thing that we can do is basically customize this entire chart. The way that we do this is by right clicking anywhere on the screen, and then we can go down to settings right here. So click into settings, and then these are the chart settings that are going to show up. So the first thing that we can do in symbol right here is we can change the color of these candles. So we have the body that is shown right here. This is the main body between the candles. So we can change this to any color that we like. Let's say we want to change this to white. So the green candles are now white, and then let's leave the red candles as red. Then we can go to borders. So you can't really see this until we really zoom in. Let me just do so right now. But we can see the very borders of the candle right here. This is what we can change as well. So let's change this to white for the green candles. And then the last thing that we can change is the wick on either side. We can change this to white as well. And you can fully customize this chart in any way. If you want to reset back to the defaults at any time, we can go to template here in the bottom left corner. Click on apply defaults. And as you can see, those candles are going to be reset to the normal colors. The next thing that we can do is change the session. So we can choose between regular trading hours or extended trading hours. And if we change this to the extended trading hours, what this is going to do is this is going to add in pre-market and aftermarket. So as you can see, we still have the standard market hours. And then up here, this is where the market closed yesterday. And we can see these are all of the aftermarket prices. So once again, let's just go to settings and you can choose whether you want this on or off. I'm just going to set this back to regular. We can also choose if we want to adjust the data for dividends. Now you can turn this on, but if you're trading, then I wouldn't recommend this. This is mainly targeted at long-term investors who just want to check the charts. We can also adjust the time zone here at the bottom. So right now this is set to UTC, but we can choose which time zone we want to go by. Now I'm going to set this to New York, and as you can see, that's going to change my time zone along the bottom to be a part of the New York time zone. Now the rest of these, things like status line, skills and lines, canvas, I'm not going to mention them in this beginner tutorial as they are not really super necessary. They don't make drastic changes to your chart. And I want to keep this video as short and concise as possible, whilst only containing the most valuable information. So that is how we can change and customize the chart right there. Next, let's take a look at what all of this information means. Let's start off with the top right here. So in the top right corner, this is where you can search for symbols, and it's also going to show you the current ticker that you have selected. Let's say I want to move from Apple and I want to search for something different. Let's change this from Apple to a forex pair like GBP USD. As you can see, we are now on GBP USD, that is shown right here, and also in the top left corner. Next along, we have this plus icon, which is going to allow us to compare or add symbol. So let's say that we not only want to look at GBP USD, but we also want to look at a different currency pair at the same time. Let's go for Yen USD. Then we can select this, and as you can see, we now have both of these currency pairs on the chart at the same time. What you will also notice when we do this is, let me just delete this, we can see the actual price right here of the currency pair. So we can see GBP USD is currently priced at 127. However, if we go back and we add JPY USD, this is going to change into a percentage. So that's something to keep in mind right there, and we can add multiple currency pairs at the same time. Let's go for the Aussie dollar against the US dollar. To delete these off your chart, you can just go up and either hide them using this eye icon, or we can completely delete them from the chart using this trash can icon. Now we are back to the standard. We can also change the time frame up on this top bar. So right now we are on the minutes chart, but we can choose from any of these right here. The only thing to keep in mind is anything below the 1 minute mark, you have to upgrade to TradingView Pro to access this. If I want to access the 10-second chart, you can see it's going to ask me to upgrade to the paid plan, and I get a 30-day free trial of this. So that is something to keep in mind. If you want to go under 1 minute, then that is something that you do have to do. Alternatively, anything above, so if we want to go for the hourly chart, the daily chart, or anything like this, we get access to that in the free version of TradingView. So right now I'm on the hourly chart, then I can go to the daily chart, and I can access them all right here. Next along, we can choose the candle type that we have. So right now this is set to regular candles, but we can switch this to hollow candles. We can also go in and switch this to a line chart. We can switch to Heikin-Ashi candles. So it's super customizable, and you can really choose what type of candles you like to trade on. I mean, with my trading strategy, I personally use the Heikin-Ashi candles combined with volume. This is how I trade. It's a very different trading strategy, and I guess if you do want to see a video on that, I can make that, so just let me know. But for now, let's go back to standard candles. This is what most people are going to use to trade. And then next along, we have indicators. Now, by default, as soon as you load into TradingView, we are going to have one indicator on the chart, and that is volume shown here at the bottom. We can see this in the top left corner. It says volume. And once again, if we want to go up and hide any of these indicators, we can, or we can delete them entirely. So let's delete volume for now. Then we can go up to indicators, and these are all of the standard indicators that we can get access to on TradingView. It would take a while to flick through these and view them all, so what we can do is use this search bar to search for specific indicators. Two of the most popular indicators in trading are of course the RSI, the Relative Strength Index that we can add right here, and also the MACD. We can add them both there. As you can see, both of these indicators are now added to my chart, and if I want to go here and delete them from the chart, I just hover over the name on this left hand side, and then I can choose to either hide this or delete this entirely. Let's actually go back and add the RSI once again. You can also choose the order of the indicators by using these arrows on the right hand side. So let's say I want the MACD on the bottom. I just click this down arrow, and I can do this as many times as I like. We can also adjust the settings of each indicator by going into the settings area right here. And as you can see, we can now change the inputs and the style of each indicator. Now, some trading strategies are going to require you to do this, so we can change the inputs right here. Let's just change this from 12 to 10. And as you can see, that's going to change slightly right there. Let's set this back to the default. And then what I do like to do with my indicators is I do like to play around with the style. Mainly just going into the MACD line and making it a little bit thicker down here, although you can change the color and the opacity as well. So I usually like to set them to this thickness right here. And that looks a lot better. We can do the same for the RSI right here. So if we go into settings, one thing that I don't usually like to have is this RSI based MA, but you can change any of the settings for any of your indicators in these settings right here. And we can also change the inputs. With the free plan on TradingView, you can only have 2 indicators on your chart, not including volume. So volume actually doesn't count as an indicator. I have 2 indicators on my chart already, and if I go up here and add volume, you will see I am allowed to add volume. However, if I delete volume right here, so I now have 3 indicators on my chart. If I delete volume, I now only have 2. But if I try to add another type of indicator right here, it's going to ask me to upgrade once again and tell me I can only have 2 indicators on the chart. So keep that in mind, a maximum of 2 indicators. However, volume for some reason does not count as an indicator, so you can have that on your chart as well as another 2 indicators. One other thing that I will show you in regards to indicators is we can also access community indicators right here. So we can see the script name, and these are essentially indicators that have been created by the TradingView community. We can see the author of this indicator, as well as the amount of likes that it has. So we can go ahead and choose top and see indicators that have the most likes, as well as any trading indicators right here. If we want to add these to the chart, we simply click on the indicator. And once again, we can have a maximum of 2 community indicators, as these are just classed as regular indicators right here. The next thing that I want to show you is how we can set alerts on the chart. So essentially, alerts are kind of like notifications, and we can get TradingView to notify us once a certain price has been hit. So I want to show you an example of this. However, the markets are currently closed for forex and stocks. So I'm going to go for Bitcoin USD. Let's go with the Binance version. And what I'm going to do is go up to alert right here, and we can set this. So we have the condition as BTC. Then we can choose when we want the indicator to go. So we can choose if this crosses a certain threshold, if it gets to greater than a certain threshold, if it enters a channel. The simplest to do is crossing though. And let's say that Bitcoin, I'm going to guess it's going to go down. So let's say when it crosses 67600, I want to get my alert. Then we can choose once or every time. We can choose the expiration date, but I'm just going to keep this right here and click on create. And that alert is now created. We can see with this big white line that we have across the screen. Next along, we have the replay mode, and this is what you can use to backtest on TradingView. So let me zoom out right here, zoom out a fair bit. And what we can do is go into replay mode. We can set this as far back as we like, and then we can essentially backtest strategies using the replay mode right here. So currently you can see I am on Monday, the 29th of August, 2022, and that is the date that I am currently at. Then what we can do is choose the replay speed right here. So we can just set this to 1x, and we can click on play. And we can see that Bitcoin price is going to move, and we can backtest strategies using this. Alternatively, we can just click this forward button to go forward 1 candle at a time. And this is a really awesome feature to use to backtest trading strategies. So let's exit out of this mode for now. We can click on yes. And as you can see, we are going to be taken back over to the standard trading screen. So that is everything that we need to know along this top bar. Next, let's move down the side and take a look at all of the drawing tools that we can use. Now, starting out with this line at the top, we can just choose the standard line. We do have a few other options. However, I'm not going to go into all of these as it would make the video too long. But one of the most important trading drawings is going to be this trend line. So we can choose the trend line, and then we can start drawing trend lines on the chart. So I could maybe draw a trend line right here. Let's have a look for another solid trend line that I see on the chart right now. Okay, so we definitely have one going down here. We can add that in right there. And then maybe even we can see one right here. Yeah, we can see it tested this trend line twice before it finally broke through. And you can use this to draw trend lines on your chart. If you want to remove drawings from your chart, we can either click on the drawing and click backspace to delete, or you can just go for Control or Command Z, and that's going to remove all of the drawings like this. So in this area, we have trend lines, we have rays, we have extended lines, we have parallel channels, regression trends. We have so many different things that you can add here. Next along, we have the Fibonacci section. So we can select this, we can start drawing out Fibonacci retracements right here. We also have a bunch of other Fibonacci tools. Personally, I don't really know how to use any of these apart from the Fib retracement. It's not usually something that I include in my trading strategy. However, we have all the Fibonacci tools right here. Next, we have patterns, so we can draw all of these different types of patterns on our chart. We have the XABCD pattern, the cipher pattern, all of these different patterns, Elliott waves that you can start drawing on your chart right here. We then have a drawing tool. So this is just like brushes and highlights. And this is often what I like to use if I create any tutorials on TradingView. I just like to circle things and draw trend lines. So you can use this. However, I think it's a much better idea to just use one of these tools upwards. However, if you do want to highlight anything, If you do want to add arrows to your chart, then you can do so using this section right here. Next, we have icons. Once again, I feel like this is a pretty pointless feature, but you can add icons to your chart if you really want to. We also have this zoom tool where we can choose to zoom in to certain price points or price ranges. We can do so like that. And then one thing that I did forget to mention, this is a super handy tool, especially for backtesting. Let me just actually delete everything on this chart, remove all drawings, is we can actually go up here. I think it's in this section, and we can get the price range. So essentially we can say, okay, I want to go into a trade right now, and maybe I want to make 10%. So if I just zoom in real quick to where we are on the chart, I can grab my price range tool and set it to the current price. And if I want to make 10%, I can set this to 10% right here. So let's go for 10%, 10.12 is fine. And I can see that if I entered a trade here to make my 10%, I would need to come out at 74,584. So we can use it for that. You can also use it for backtesting. Like we can say, I want to go into a trade right here. This is where I would set my take profit. And this is where I would set my stop loss as well. And we can use that tool right there. So those are all of the tools and drawings right there. Now, what you will notice if we go to the bottom is we also have this tab along the bottom. Now, this is kind of hidden at first, but what we can do is just hover over this little gray line, and then we can pull this up and get a much more in detail view. So we have a stock screener right here, and we can change this between stocks, forex, and crypto. So we could go for forex maybe. And then we can look at this. We can filter this based on price. We can filter this based on change. So we can see the top gainers of today. We can see the top losers of today. We can see the change. We can see the bid. We can see the ask, high, low. So we can use this as a screener right here. However, the main thing that we are going to be looking at is this trading panel right here. Because in this section, we can actually get access to the TradingView paper trader, where we can basically trade with a fake amount of money. It's just numbers on a screen. It doesn't mean anything, but you can practice your trading with paper trading before you put any real money into the market. So we can go for paper trading right here and click on connect. And as you can see, I am given $100,000 in fake paper money to start trading with. I can then go up here into the settings, and I can set like a commission rate, how much the brokerage that I am buying through is going to take on each trade. So we can keep this as 0.001%. And this is important because a lot of traders, when paper trading, is they forget that the brokerage is going to take a certain percentage of that trade. So from here, we can now click on trade. Okay, so because I'm on Binance USD, this is not going to allow me to trade. So let's go for Binance USDT. And we can see everything right here. So I'm currently on Heikin-Ashi candles on the 1 minute chart. Let's see if we want to go long or short. I wouldn't usually take a trade here, but just for this example, let's go long and let's just buy 1 Bitcoin in this paper account right here. Then at the bottom, we can now exit out of this screen and we can see how the trade is going. So we can see we are long on Bitcoin. We have 1 Bitcoin bought. We can see how much we bought Bitcoin for, the last price, the profit and loss, and so on. So I'm not going to wait for this trade to move in either direction because this is just an example. But if we want to sell this, all we would have to do is click on close right here. Then we can go for close position, and that's going to close us out. So we took a small 14-cent loss on that trade. We can also see with these arrows where we went in and where we went out. Now, the final thing that I want to show you on TradingView is the watch list over here. We can use the watch list to easily switch between different tickers and different cryptocurrencies that we want to trade between. Now, this is the default watch list that we are given. So we can either go through and just clean out this standard watch list, or we can go into watch lists right here and create a new list. Now, this does require you to have the paid version of TradingView. Like if we try this, you can see we need to upgrade. So that's why if you are on the free plan, it's a better idea to just clean out your watch list. Then what we can do is start adding different cryptocurrencies and stocks and forex pairs to this list. So we just go add. So let's add BTC USDT and go for the Binance version, and we can add these right here. So you can see I now have Bitcoin added. Let's also add some Ethereum. And then in terms of stocks, let's add some pretty blue chip stocks. So we can go for Apple right here. Let's also add Microsoft. And then let's throw in a forex pair for good measure. We can add this as well. So we now have all of these tickers on the watch list, and we can easily flick between them by just clicking on the name. However, this is pretty unorganized right now. We have some stocks in here, we have some crypto, and we also have some forex. So what we can do is click into settings in this top right corner, and we can add a section. So section 1, we can click in and we can title this crypto, and then we can drag Bitcoin into crypto and Ethereum into crypto. Then let's create a new one, add section, and call this one, let's click in, call this stocks. Then we can drag Apple and Microsoft into this. And then let's add a final section right here. And we can call this forex. And then we can drag our forex pairs into here. What we can also do is expand and collapse these menus. So let's just say we are specifically looking at crypto right now. We can close stocks and forex. And then if we want to open them back up, we can open them up right here. So that is my complete guide to TradingView. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.